Welcome to Right on the Money, the weekly talk show with interviews you can use to help you maximize your money and optimize your financial future. Before moving forward with any of the ideas discussed on the show, always consult your financial advisor, insurance professional, or tax consultant. Looking for financial help or a second opinion? We can help you in your search. And now, your host of Right on the Money, syndicated financial columnist and money-colored commentator, Steve Savant.
Well, welcome back to Right on the Money, and we're talking about America's #1 retirement program, Social Security. I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money-colored commentator. In this segment, we're talking about last year's changes in Social Security. Tom Hegna, nationally recognized retirement speaker and best-selling author. And I have to say, Tom, there were some changes, and they affected me directly, and they affected a lot of poor and lower middle-class Americans more than anybody.
Yeah, they impacted me too, Steve, but there are some things. Before I get into the changes, let me just talk about something that I think, a lot of people don't understand, and that's the survivor benefits of Social Security. And let me explain how the survivor benefit works. If you have a husband and wife, whoever has the highest benefit, that's the survivor benefit, which is why we say that if you have a husband and wife, the breadwinner, whoever earns the most, should wait till 70 before they collect their Social Security benefit, because if they take their benefit early, they lock their spouse into a lower survivor benefit. But you can collect survivor benefits as early as age 60, not 62, 60. A lot of people don't know that. Even earlier if there are minor children in the home. But here's the strategy a lot of people don't know. You could take your survivor benefits at age 60, meanwhile letting your own benefits grow to age 70, and then at age 70 switch to your own benefit. Or if it works better, you can start with your benefit at age 62 and then switch to the higher survivor benefit at age 66. So these are just a lot of little things that people don't know.
Now this hasn't, that's been in there.
That has not changed. That has not changed.
Okay.
So here is what has changed, all right? There's some strategies. One strategy is called file and suspend. That's changed. Another strategy is called file a restricted application. That one's changed. So let me explain the strategy, and then let me tell you what the changes are. File and suspend works best if you have a couple with very different incomes. So maybe the husband made the majority of the money. The wife was in and out of the workforce helping with the kids. She may have a work record. She may not. If she has a work record, at age 62, she can file for benefits, okay? He should not. At age 66, he will file for benefits, but he won't take them. He'll file and suspend. Why does he do that? Well, now she can step up to a higher spousal benefit, all right? He lets his continue to grow till age 65 or age 70, and then at age 70, he takes the maximum, and when he dies, she gets that as a survivor benefit. That's called file and suspend. Well, here's the change. You must turn age 66 and file and suspend prior to April 30th of 2016. If you do not turn age 66 and if you do not file and suspend by April 30th of 2016, that strategy goes away.
And I missed that.
Me too.
By a couple of years. Wow.
Me too.
Well, talk about the filing. The next one's not that bad. It changed, but it's not as bad.
Right. So it's file a restricted application. Now, file a restricted application works best if you got a power couple. So you got both husband and wife made money. Maybe the husband made more. Maybe the wife made more. It doesn't really matter. But let's say at age 66, she starts taking her benefits. He does not. He was going to wait anyway. Well, guess what? While he's waiting, you know what he can do? He can file a restricted application and get half of hers. So while between 66 and 70, he's getting a check, but he's getting a check equal to amount half of hers, okay? She gets hers and he gets an amount equal to half of hers. He lets his continue to grow to 70, and then at 70, he takes the maximum, and if that's the highest, that'll be the survivor benefit. Now, here's the change. You must turn age 62 by December 31st of 2015. If you turn age 62 by December 31st of 2015, you're grandfathered in. And when you turn full retirement age, you can file a restricted application or any time after that. So there will still be people filing restricted applications for the next 8 years. But if you do not turn age 62 by December 31st, 2015, you're out. I'm out.
That's right. I guess we're out. 215's already gone, and we're just reviewing it. And let's talk about collecting on your ex, because I find this to be fascinating, and I want you to take your time on this because I think a lot of women could benefit from this.
Absolutely. Look, here's how collect on your ex works. You have to have been married 10 years divorced at least 2, and not remarried. So married 10, divorced 2, not remarried, you can collect on your ex's Social Security benefit. Now, I do a lot of public seminars, Stephen. I was doing a public seminar, and a lady raised her hand. She said, Tom, I was married to 3 different guys for 10 years, and I'm not remarried. Which check do I get? You want to know what the answer? You get the highest of the 3, okay, whichever one works out best for you. A lot of people don't know that Johnny Carson was married to 3 different women for 10 years. None of them remarried. All 3 of them are collecting his maximum survivor benefit.
Wow, so all 3.
Yeah,
So,
which is another reason why Social Security has problems.
All right, so if I did this in reverse, that I am a female who's now been divorced 3 times, but married, right? Each person 10 years. I just have to pick the biggest check.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Right. Now here's a pattern I've found, Steve. I have found a pattern of women in their 60s and 70s who were married in their 20s and 30s. They might have been divorced for 30 or 40 years. They don't even remember the guy. They don't think about the guy. The guy might even be dead. Well, guess what? They can collect on his Social Security benefit. I'll give you a quick example. For the public television special, I had to write a guide on Social Security benefits. And there was a manager from a financial firm out in Louisiana. He bought these guides, and he was going through it. He was going to train his financial advisors. Well, he learned about this collect on your ex. Well, he's at the grocery store, Steve, and he runs into one of his clients who's 60 years of age, and she was struggling. She was making maybe $12,000 or $13,000 a year. She was an administrative assistant, struggling paycheck to paycheck. And he said, "Hey, weren't you married at one point?" She goes, "Yeah, I was married. It was a long time ago." He said, "How long were you married?" She said, 12 years. He said, "Well, tell me a little bit more." "Well, I don't even care about that guy. In fact, I heard he died about a year ago." And the manager said, "Did you understand you can collect on his survivor benefit?" She said, "No." He said, "Yeah." So she goes down to Social Security Administration. She starts getting $13,000 a year immediately. She thought she hit the lottery. And I found there's a pattern out there of women in their 60s and 70s who have no idea they're entitled to collect on their ex's Social Security benefit.
Tommy, I'm looking at a couple presidents. This one was my second president of my life, Dwight D. Eisenhower, general to all of us,
Right.
Military. He said, should any political party attempt to abolish Social Security, unemployment insurance, eliminate labor laws, and farm programs, you will not hear from that party again in our political history. I mean,
well, they call it the third rail, but
Yes.
but look, we're going to have to modify Social Security. We're going to have to fix it, because if we don't, it's gonna blow up on itself. So we've got to do a few things to make it stronger.
Well, Barack Obama, our president, he said, we will keep the promise of Social Security by taking responsible steps to strengthen it and not by turning it over to Wall Street. Well, we haven't turned it over to Wall Street, and we have he's got 7 years down, and he's going to be out in about 12 months, and they've done nothing to strengthen it.
Right.
Nothing.
And like I said, this is not something the Democrats can fix. This is not something the Republicans can fix. They got to do it together, and they got to come up with the American solution.
I have to say, I'm a libertarian by political stripe, but my good friend Rand Paul, whom many times I kind of like what he says, let's mean test this program. Hey, wait a minute. What you got to be kidding me.
I don't like that.
No,
and I mean,
don't
Chris
either.
Christie said that too. I don't like that. And I'll tell you, is it fair that you pay in? And now I feel like I'm saying what we were talking about earlier, but I mean, we've paid in our whole lives, right? We paid into something, and I think we should at least get our money back, okay? If we don't get a return on our money, I can live with that. If they want to, not give me as much as somebody else, I can live with it. But to not give anything, I think would be wrong. I just think it'd be wrong.
Well, I was on record 15 years ago when I turned the big 5-0, and I said, I will give all my Social Security benefits back to the government if they'll let me take the contributions that I have to put in and my employer and leave me alone. And if I go destitute, that's my problem. And by the way, remember, there are certain groups in our country that were able to opt out of Social Security. And one of the biggest ones is the government themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Well, and some teachers and some railroads, I think, have their own retirement, and they got better retirement plans.
Military too?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, military you get, now it's both. There was a while that military was different, but now military pays into Social Security as well.
Well, I think we're going to have to do something like you said. We're going to have to be reasonable. We're going to have to take steps to go ahead and do this. I want you to listen to one of our most popular presidential candidates right now, Rubio, right? Marco Rubio said, but here's what I would tell people of my generation. I was talking to him, not us baby boomers. He says, I turned 40 this year. There isn't going to be a Social Security. There isn't going to be Medicare when you retire. Forget what benefit is going to look like. There isn't going to be a benefit. There isn't going to be one if we don't make reforms now and save the program now.
Yeah, I do believe that we have to make reforms, and the longer we wait, the worse the reforms are going to be. I'll go on record saying this. I don't believe we're going to see much of any increases in Social Security for the rest of our lives, and here's why. Any increase we see will be sucked up by the Medicare, because Medicare's a big problem. It's not Social Security. Medicare, Medicaid is going to wipe us out.
Well, remember, if you're listening to our show right now on radio, iTunes, or a podcast, you can view the video version online at rightonthemoneyshow.com, and you can request information from this segment. In our third segment, we're going to talk about how to maximize your Social Security benefits with Tom. We'll be right back after the break.
For more information on this week's money topics, just go to our website at www.rightonthemoneyshow.com and follow Steve's daily postings on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. When it comes to retirement, money management, small business, insurance coverage, college funding, or budgeting, we have the interviews you can use.